Hello again. In part three, we will talk about cultural competence and humility. Cultural competence is about knowledge and skills. It means learning about different cultures, practices, traditions, and beliefs around pregnancy, birth, and postpartum care. For example, some cultures observe confinement periods, have food restrictions, or include healing rituals. As doulas, you do not have to personally share those traditions, but you need to understand and respect them. Communication is also part of competence. Being mindful of language barriers, health literacy, and making sure information is shared in ways that families can actually understand and use. So, cultural competence is the what, it's the fact and knowledge that we gain to support families better. Why is cultural competence and humility important in a doula practice? It helps families feel seen, heard, and respected when their cultural traditions and values are honored. There is evidence based data that it provides better outcomes when doulas understand and adapt to cultural needs of families. The patients experience less stress and a more positive birth and postpartum outcome. Equity in care helps reduce health disparities and inequity faced by marginalized communities. It helps to build your professional reputation because you will become known as a culturally humble doula who builds credibility and attracts diverse clients. And being client centered and respecting their cultures and backgrounds helps to keep focus on the family's needs and not just the doula's assumptions. So, we went over what cultural competence is. It's understanding the different cultures, practices, traditions, and beliefs about pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. But what is cultural humility? Cultural humility takes it one step further, a little deeper. It's not just about what we know, but how we approach our families. It starts with lifelong learning, knowing that we will never fully arrive at cultural competence. Instead, we, as birth workers, commit to self reflect and ongoing growth. It requires self awareness, recognizing our own biases and cultural lenses, and making sure that they do not get in the way of the care that we are providing our clients. It's about client led care, asking families about their preferences and following their lead, rather than assuming that what we know is best. And it's about power sharing, respecting that families are the experts in their own lives, and our role is to partner with them, not to control their decisions. So the humility is the how. It's the mindset and attitude that we bring into every interaction that we have with a client. When we apply these ideas in practice, it changes how families experience care. For example, a family might have strong beliefs about labor positions, postpartum rest, or certain foods for healing. Respecting those traditions builds comfort and trust between the doula and the family. We need to be aware of our language and communication barriers. Misunderstandings can happen. Misunderstandings can create stress. So, recognizing the need for interpreters, translated material, or using more plain language to make it clearer and safer for our clients. Health literacy is another issue. Families may not be familiar with medical terminology. So, part of our role is breaking down things into accessible language for them. Once they understand, they feel more empowered, less anxious, and confident about their birth experience. And we have to be aware of health disparities. Many marginalized communities face systematic inequities in healthcare. As a doula, you can be a buffer, advocating for clients and helping to reduce the impact of those disparities. Here are a list of resources that are also included in the handout that will help you understand cultural competency and humility a little bit better. Please take a couple minutes to read this scenario. Feel free to pause the video. Now I would like you to take some time to reflect with these questions. Feel free to pause here again. Families aren't shaped by culture alone. They are shaped by overlapping identities. Intersectionality matters. People's race, ethnicity, gender, religion, sexual orientation, immigration status, and income level. This is what we mean by intersectionality. All these layers impact how families experience pregnancies and birth. As doulas, you need to keep this lens in mind. Looking at the whole picture of families, not just one piece. Culturally humble doulas often find themselves advocating in medical spaces where families feel dismissed or misunderstood. For example, if a provider dismisses a family's cultural tradition or fails to get proper consent, a doula can step in to support informed decision making. This is part of bridging the gap between families and the healthcare system. Advocacy doesn't mean speaking for the families, but it does mean standing beside them and helping their voices be heard. The trauma-informed lens. Some cultural groups carry intergenerational trauma related to healthcare. That can be seen as systematic racism, forced sterilization, or historical mistrust. By practicing cultural humility, it means acknowledging this history and approaching care in a gentle way without any assumptions. We don't ignore it and we don't minimize it. Instead, we approach families with sensitivity and with a commitment to safety and trust. A trauma-informed approach ensures that our care does not unintentionally re-trigger or dismiss those very real histories. It makes our support more compassionate and more effective with our clients. The key takeaways to this module are: ask, don't assume. Are there traditions or practices that are important to you during your birth or postpartum? Using inclusive language like birthing person instead of only mother when appropriate. Using resources. Keep a list of local interpreters, culturally specific support groups, and diverse community providers to refer clients to. And don't forget, continue your lifelong learning. Take CEUs, continuing education units or trainings, in cultural humility, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I encourage you now to share a tradition from your own culture with your peers. Gracias.